Lavelle, Devin, and Deshaun, their families, all who mourn the loss, very much in the hearts and minds of all here in Charlotte tonight. Dabo Swinney, his team won 6 consecutive ACC titles until they failed to qualify last year. Pittsburgh won the title. They're trying to make it 7 in the last 8 years. The last team to do that in a Power 5 conference, Alabama. 8 out of 9 SEC titles back in the 1970s. Led by DJ Uiagalelei, like his team lately, up and down. They started out 8-0. They come in over their last 5 games, their last 4 games, just 2-2.
You know, some of the guys that we talked to, players and coaches, talked about how hard it was to sit at home and watch the championship game a year ago. So I think this team will be motivated to be back in this ball game.
10-2, their 12th consecutive season of 10 wins. Only 2 other programs have ever done that, Florida State and Alabama. And plenty of Tiger fans here, just 2.5 hours away from the Clemson campus. Here's Molly McGrath.
Coach, through the ups and downs, what does this championship game mean to your season?
Well, it's the difference between a good year and a great year. Anytime you can win your league, it's a great year, so that's what it means.
What did you say to your quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, before taking the field?
Just didn't really say anything right there other than talking to the team, but really just be who he is. Just be who he is. Go play. It's a championship game. You know, cut it loose.
All right,
no regrets.
Thank you, Coach.
Got it.
Sean.
And the North Carolina Tar Heels, also about 2.5 hours away from their campus, about to take the field here in Charlotte. This has been the Nissan pregame drive. Kickoff the Subway ACC Championship is next. Now a look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
This isn't about chasing some silly dream. It's about facing your destiny head on. All roads have led us here. Are we about to turn back now? I say nay. Inspired by the giants that have preceded us, we shall push forward to destiny.
Sure, Tim. Now what you want to do is gently push in the clutch and put it in first.
A first for destiny.
On speed briskly across the field to talk to Mac Brown.
Coach, games like this are why you came back. What would an ACC championship mean to your program?
Molly, it would mean the world. It means we're making progress, but it's about these young people. They want to win championships. They put themselves in a position to do one tonight. We got a big hill to climb, but college football's crazy. Who knows?
How does your quarterback, Drake May, find success against this defensive front?
We got to protect. We got to give him chance. Drake's good against everybody when he's got time. They've got the best front we've seen all year, maybe the best front in college football. So we got our hands full trying to protect him, but we've got to do a great job as coaches to get him time to throw.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Molly.
Sean, Todd.
All right, Molly. 59th meeting all time back to 1897. Clemson leads. They've won the last 4. The last North Carolina win was in 2010. They've met once before in this title game back in 2015. Won by Clemson. And the last meeting was #1 Clemson at Kenan Stadium to take on Mac Brown's Tar Heels. And it was a terrific game late in the game, going for 2 to take the lead. Sam Howell could not pitch it, did get it off late to Javonte Williams, but he did not get in. And Clemson held on for a 21-20 win. We'll take some of that excitement here tonight. That 11-win season under Larry Fedora in 2015 is the only time in the last 25 years before this season that North Carolina has won 9 games. They've lost the last 2, but Matt Brown said, if you told me we'd be 9-3 and playing for the conference title, I would have signed up for that before the year began. North Carolina won the toss and deferred. Clemson elected to take the kickoff from Noah Burnett. It's down and returnable for Charlotte's own Will Shipley, just down the road in Weddington, North Carolina. And he's down at the 30-yard line. So that's where they'll begin, led by DJ Uiagalelei. When they were off to that 7-0 start, he was rock solid. But the last 5 as they've gone 3-2, he has struggled. And the big number there, the turnovers, he's been a part of it. But it's unbelievable. They were one of the best teams in the country at the beginning of the year, not turning the ball over. Now it's one turnover after another.
Yeah, 5 games in a row, they've lost the turnover margin. It's hard to win close football games when you do that.
First time that's happened in 5 straight games under Dabo Swinney. Out throwing and a sinker blowing away to Joseph Ngata. Not an encouraging start for Uiagalelei off an 8-for-29 performance in their 1-point loss to South Carolina last weekend.
This is a safe throw called by Brandon Streeter, but a quarterback that showed no confidence in just letting it rip. What did Dabo say to Molly? Just go out there and let it fly, let it rip. He did not let that pass rip.
They try one in the opposite direction, more accurate throw this time to Antonio Williams, but he's swung down by Legend Cavazos, part of a banged up secondary. He was a backup for much of the year, but they're playing without 2 starters tonight in Storm Duck, an all-conference corner, and Cam Kelly, an outstanding safety. They're the 2 latest injuries on a defense that's been decimated.
Their defensive numbers are not very good at all, but the last couple weeks they have played better, particularly in critical situations.
So number 31, Will Hardy, he'll get a lot of playing time tonight, a true freshman. Uiagalelei way off target again in the general direction of Antonio Williams. Cavazos had the coverage, and the Tar Heel fans and players are into it early.
Well, this is a good protection, a nice clean pocket for DJ. He's just errant on the throw, so he threw 3 plays this possession. And he was way off target on 2 of them and completed an easy one to the opposite side.
That is Cade Klubnik, the backup quarterback. We were told by the coaches during the week that they plan to play him no matter what. They'd like to get him some reps. He's a freshman. If DJ continues to throw the ball like that, we might see him sooner rather than later. Aiden Swanson the punt. Josh Downs the fair catch. What a redshirt freshman season it's been for Drake May. Myers Park High School here in Charlotte. He has already established a number of records at North Carolina. He's leading the country in total yardage per game. He's thrown for 3,847 yards and 35 touchdown passes. The yardage number is the single season record. It was held by Mitch Trubisky.
I love his poise, his maturity for a young guy, and his ability to make throws off platform, either to his left or his right.
Tall and athletic, 6'4", 220, on target in the flat. Kamari Morales, one of 3 tight ends to whom they throw the ball. And they'll mark him down at the 30-yard line. They started to move the chains, but it's a gain of 8.
Same philosophy for Phil Longo. Quick, easy throw, get your quarterback hot early, and get the ball out of your hands quick.
May, lots of time, well protected by Mac Brown's offensive line. Now showing that athleticism. And out of bounds across the 40, chased out at the 42-yard line.
See, this is what teams have done the last couple weeks. Georgia Tech and North Carolina State, a healthy sprinkling of a 3-man rush, drop 8. Well, Drake May knows he doesn't have anything open, but the 3-man rush doesn't get to him, and he shows his ability to create and extend plays with his leg. This guy is the leading rusher on the North Carolina football team, in addition to what he's done as a passer.
641 rushing yards. ACC Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Year, the Rookie of the Year. Given time again, and throwing deep in single coverage, some hand fighting, and it's caught but out of bounds. Kobe Paysor with Sheridan Jones in coverage for the Tigers.
Really great coverage by Sheridan Jones because he knows where the sideline is and he just forces the receiver out of bounds. Even though it's a nice catch, there's no way for him to be in bounds because the defender did a nice job just riding him out of the field of play.
Thought it was an improving secondary in the latter part of the year until they got torched by Spencer Rattler last week. Wes Goodwin is the defensive coordinator, playing without R.J. Mickens, one of their key safeties in the first half. He was ejected for targeting the second half last week. Huge hole, Elijah Green across midfield and down about a yard short of the first down. Trenton Simpson made the tackle.
Well, again, just counting numbers. It's only 3 defensive linemen. That says run. They're playing to defend the pass, and it was a nice run.
They go with tempo. They get the first down. Elijah Green was 4th string. At the beginning of the year, they were going with running back by committee, but they decided to make it more competitive in the practices. Whoever practiced better, played better, was going to get the bulk of the carries, and that's been Elijah Green down the stretch.
I think this is the best quarterback Clemson has faced and the best set of wide receivers. Josh Downs, the leader, the slot guy, number 11. They'll move him all around. He's in the slot right here to the bottom, and Antoine Green is a big play guy if he gets one-on-one coverage up at top.
Rush again, well picked up. Kobe Paysor inside the 40. They'll give him the 39-yard line. Sheridan Jones there again, graduate student from Norfolk, Virginia. They do like to play with tempo. And Mac Brown thinks that's another way they can help the offensive line try to wear down that defensive front, prevent substituting. May, beautiful ball right on target. And a first down at the 14. Kamari Morales again.
Well, again, Clemson is starting out this game with the idea we're going to drop 8. But there's holes in that coverage even when you drop that many. And if you give Drake May time, as Mac Brown told Molly, if we protect him, he can be great against anybody. And he is showing that right now with a clean pocket. He knows how to find holes in your defense.
Both of these teams have outstanding production from the tight ends. 68 catches for the Tar Heel group, 5th in the country among tight ends. May, swing pass, good tackle in the open field by Barrett Carter. He dropped Elijah Green for a gain of only 1.
One of the areas that's been a little bit disappointing for Clemson this year defensively has been their, in the red zone, the number of touchdowns, the percentage of touchdowns that they've given up is right around 60%. For the first 10 games, North Carolina, one of the best in the country at scoring touchdowns, over 75%. Last 2 weeks, a little bit off. So important first possession here in the red zone for both teams.
Carolina still the highest scoring offense in the ACC, 37 points per game. But they've sputtered in the 2 losses. May inside the 10. They were 9-1. They wrapped up their division, the Coastal, after a win at Wake Forest on November 12th. So Phil Longo, all the Tar Heels, starting to think about, let's play our way into college football playoff consideration. But then back-to-back home losses to Georgia Tech and NC State. And they didn't score more than 27 in either one of them. 17 against the Jackets.
You have single up here if you want it.
3rd down and 5. May, pressured, throws, caught. Nice catch by Josh Downs. And he picked up the first down with a yard to spare. 1st and goal, North Carolina.
There you see the ability to extend plays by May. He gets out of the pocket to his right. Take a look at the progressive pylon cam replay. Josh came from all the way from the other side of the field, but it was the quarterback's ability to extend plays that got him there.
84 catches to lead the conference, and he missed 2 games early in the year due to injury. He had 101 catches last year. One of the problems the last couple of weeks has been some drop balls, uncharacteristic. He dropped the big one late against Tech that might have won the game. May, the keeper, Drake May, the touchdown!
Simpson right here. He's going to hesitate. He's going to come right here. They're pulling the tight end. They pull the tight end and watch Simpson kind of get fooled, whether it's the back or the quarterback. Morales gets a nice block to lead the play, but the design of the play, you couldn't have asked for a better scripted first drive by the North Carolina offense. Good blend of run and pass, and Drake May doing his thing.
Noah Burnett adds the extra point. Well, we wondered about motivation level. Carolina clearly fired up on both sides of the ball and on the sideline, and Clemson an uninspiring start on both sides of the ball.
Well, Barrett Carter had an unblocked path to the quarterback, but you see Drake May's ability to extend plays and throw it off platform, and the leading rusher on the North Carolina team runs it in for the first touchdown.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut.
Here's the view from our AT&T 5G Skycam. Todd Blackledge loves the AT&T 5G Skycam. Don't forget to check out the AT&T 5G Skycast, streaming live right now on ESPN3 and on the ESPN app. We're covering the kickoff with the AT&T camera. That'll be a touchback again. First one of the night for Noah Burnett.
Well, the first play of the game, Brandon Street trying to call a safe pass for DJ. Get him off to a good start. He threw the sinker ball on that one. He was better on the second one, and he was off target with a good pocket on this one. You just wonder where he's at confidence-wise after 8 for 29 a week ago. He just seems like the kind of guy to me that he's got to get off to a good start. If he gets off to a good start, he can settle in and he's got the tools. If he doesn't, things can spiral on him a little bit.
They give it to Shipley. He got only 15 carries last week, which surprised some. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, to Todd's point, coaches just spent a lot of time on the sidelines encouraging DJ Uiagalelei, telling him, move on, keep your confidence up. And Dabo Swinney told us before the game, he made a cut up an hour long of DJ playing well and said, this is who you are. This is who I need you to be in this game. And I'm told he spent a lot of extra time with his receivers this week, working on timing and communication after those drops last week. It's been all hands on deck to get his confidence up, Sean.
So DJ didn't play well last week. There were flags before the snap, but it was also a collective effort.
False start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Will Putnam, the center. Dabo gave us the number 5 drop passes last week in the game, and obviously their defense got torched deep more than once by Spencer Rattler and the Gamecocks.
6 pass completions over 20 yards. They had 3 turnovers. They were outplayed in special teams. And so there were a lot of reasons why they lost the game a week ago. Beyond DJ Uiagalelei.
DJ sets up a screen. Shipley, a nice leaping catch. Ran into one of his own blockers and stumbles ahead to the 30-yard line. Obviously, when you're the quarterback, you lose a rivalry game. You complete 28% of your passes. You're going to get a lot of heat, but Dabo said he's still the starter. There was speculation when they go on to Klubnik. He's not the reason we lost the game. They had a couple of turnovers in the kick return game, but certainly he could play a lot better. We've seen that this year. He's had a very up and down ride.
He had 9 pretty good games and 3 below average games, quite frankly.
Yanked a couple of times in favor of Klubnik. He's pressured, steps away from the rush, lofts it for Shipley, who made a diving attempt and couldn't take it in.
This is a great effort by DJ. His right tackle, Blake Miller, the freshman, got whipped right away, and that's why DJ had to leave the pocket. Watch that inside move. He's got to leave the pocket, and he does all he can to just try to give Shipley a chance. Shipley not able to come down with the catch, but really nice movement out of the pocket by DJ.
More mobile this year. Josh Downs back for the punt from Aiden Swanson. Uiagalelei lost 30 pounds in the offseason. Battled injuries a lot of last year. In a 10-win season. 44-yard punt for Swanson.
The Subway ACC Football Championship on ABC is brought to you by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs. And in part by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven.
Well, the only other time these two teams have met in the ACC Championship game, 2015. Tar Heel fans still upset about it. A lot of controversy. They're down by 8, a minute 11 to go. Successful onside kick. But they were called for being offside. Didn't look like anybody was offside. The Tigers held on to win the game. 420 yards of total offense for Deshaun Watson. The only time Carolina has played in the title game. This is the 18th year of the ACC championship game. 7-0 Carolina, and the pass batted down by Barrett Carter. They're trying to get it to the tight end, John Copenhaver. Cade Klubnik and DJ Uiagalelei get along extremely well. Elm Street talked about what a great quarterback room he has. Elijah Green, the catch and run, got banged down by Jeremiah Trotter. But I would not be surprised if the offense remains stagnant if we see Klubnik.
See if Clemson decides to go after Drake May on this third down play. 6 for 8 in the ball game. He's very comfortable to start the football game. They've not gotten around him too much.
Third down and 5. There is movement. Mike Roach, the referee.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Corey Gaynor, the center, grad transfer from Miami. And he's been outstanding. Matter of fact, Phil Longo talked about how quickly he formed a great relationship with Drake May. They are great friends.
He just got there in June, so I mean, he made an immediate impact quickly by his presence.
Longo goes to lunch every Thursday with Drake May and Corey Gaynor. Third down and 10. The call now for Coach Longo. Pressure. May hit as he throws, incomplete. And he got smothered by KJ Henry.
Well, they lined up KJ Henry over the center. Here he is right here instead of a defensive end. He starts in and then moves out. And of all these defensive linemen, the guy who has been the most consistent every game has been that guy, KJ Henry. He was disruptive a week ago against South Carolina, and all season long, he has played with a pretty high motive.
One of their team leaders. There's Ben Kiernan to punt. Ireland native in his 4th year as a starting punter for the Tar Heels. Low line drive, fair catch made by Antonio Williams at the 29-yard line. A 49-yard punt. North Carolina leading 7-0 in the first quarter.
The AT&T countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Monday, January 9th on ESPN.
2, 3 and outs. Not a first down yet. DJ Uiagalelei on the sideline. And here is Cade Klubnik, the true freshman from Austin, Texas, the #1 high school dual threat quarterback recruit in the country out of Westlake. And he fakes the handoff to Shipley, throws it out wide. Antonio Williams down the sideline and shoved out of bounds with a first down at the 45-yard line, chased out by Gio Biggers.
That's like a triple option play. He could give it to Shipley, he could keep it on the run, or instead of having a pitch man like traditional triple option, you've got that quick throw. Good first play for Klubnik, and Clemson going no huddle now.
He came into their game against Syracuse and they trailed by double digits in the second half and led them back to victory. On a day when Uiagalelei struggled, Davis Allen looked like someone grabbed him by the face mask as well. He's across midfield to the 49-yard line of North Carolina. Just a little swipe.
Well, when Klubnik came in to the Syracuse game, and we did that game, he came in to basically just hand off the football. They didn't ask him to throw. He also came in the Notre Dame game and he threw a really bad interception deep in his own territory that led to an Irish touchdown.
Well, Maffa joins Shipley in the backfield. Shipley only 1 carry. He blocked from Maffa. Powerful runner. First down to the Tar Heel 43. Well, the loss last week, Shipley 15 carries, 132 yards, and he was asked after the game if he'd like more carries. He said, of course. It was in response to a question. He wasn't trying to bury the coaching staff, but I think it was a reasonable question to ask. Should he have been involved more?
And only 6 carries in the second half, you know, when they were really sputtering on offense.
He's had a 1,000-yard rushing season, trying to turn the corner, and does. And he's shoved out by Will Hardy, a true freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
See, I think for them to win, I think he needs to touch the ball at least 25 times. That's what I think they need to do, because not only is he their best player, but he gets better and stronger the longer the game goes.
Excellent speed and powerful inside as well. He can run between the tackles. Klubnik, long throw, caught. Antonio Williams.
Well, this is a nice job of Klubnik moving to his left, a little bit in the pocket, buying a little time. Great route by Antonio Williams, who, again, continues to impress as a true freshman. His level of understanding on route running and gaining leverage on a defender, that was beautifully done by Antonio Williams.
And Klubnik, an immediate spark. He's 3 for 3. After Uyunglele went 2 for 5. And they were largely short throws. Now showing his running ability. And he got stood up at the 7-yard line, short of the first down. Giovanni Biggers made the tackle.
He's got some juice now. There's no question about it. I mean, when you get off to a good start, he hit his first couple passes. He looked sharp. He looked ready. Right now, he's got some bounce in his step, too, as he's got his team near the North Carolina goal line.
Seventh play of the drive. Pitched out to Shipley, turning the corner, lunging for the pylon, touchdown!
Clemson really likes that play where they kind of, it's a delayed pitch. Here's Shipley diving for the pylon. Does he step out first? Yeah, looked like he stepped out before he reached that ball to pylon. Beautiful block by Davis Allen, number 84. The best blocking tight end that they've had here at Clemson. Progressive pylon cam, you can see right there, he's out of bounds before the lunge for the pylon.
Left foot out and then the pylon. So this will be overturned almost certainly by Keith Roden in the replay booth. Official score deeming that a pass play. The ball went forward. Would have been his first receiving touchdown of the season.
Nice play by Power Eccles, one of the inside linebackers from North Carolina. Just hustle over there, make a play on the sideline, force him out of bounds, and live to play another play here.
I think the officials already know that the ball's going to be spotted short of the goal line.
Well, in your options here, if you want to run, you've got Maffa, who is the more powerful guy or the bigger back, and Shipley, who scores a lot of touchdowns. Either one is a good option here. We saw a play like that in the game earlier today with TCU, a ball that should have been spotted inside the 1 yard line.
That took forever. They got it wrong, and that could have been a very big play.
After further review, the runner's left foot was out of bounds with the ball at the 1.5 yard line. Clemson football, first and goal, that spot.
Yeah, that ball is just a few inches away from the goal line. I still think Max Duggan in that situation needed to carry the ball.
One of the two
down
players.
there. He single-handedly brought them back into the game and didn't get the ball. That guy would have willed his way into the end zone. So it's inside the 1. Shipley has 14 rushing touchdowns. And that is second in the ACC. Behind Israel Abanikanda of Pitt, who had a great year. 20 rushing scores. Shipley turned back. Loss of a half yard or so on the play. The North Carolina defense been under siege most of the year. They got off to a terrible start. They were decimated by injuries. They have 6 starters out tonight. And yet they've improved lately, adjusting to Gene Chiswick's system. Gene Chiswick was honest yesterday. He said, I've improved as the season's gone along too. Said, I'm still a work in progress with this group. Shipley again, the running back, with Klubnik under center. Play fake. Allen is wide open. Touchdown.
Klubnik does a beautiful job, but watch the block by Will Shipley just to give his quarterback time to allow Davis Allen to get to the back of the end zone. Gets enough of a block to give time to the quarterback, and a beautiful touch pass. That's where you throw. You throw to that back pylon where either your guy can catch it or nobody can catch it. And what a first possession for Cade Klubnik. Moved his team right down the field in impressive fashion.
2 3-and-outs with Uiagalelei. They never even had a third down on this drive. Engineered by Klubnik. B.T. Potter drills the extra point. The problem is not with your set. A little lighting situation here.
You know, and now, I mean, the question is for Dabo Swinney and Brandon Streeter, do you stay with Klubnik? I mean, just based on what we've seen so far, I don't know that you take him out of the game right now. Do you go back to DJ? If you don't go back to DJ, what's that going to do to his confidence if you need him at some other point in the game? It's a tricky decision right now because that drive was impressive for the young quarterback.
And the background, you know, in this day and age, there's chatter about everything.
Right.
There's websites and social media and everything, but there's been a lot of talk that this might be it for DJ Uiagalelei at Clemson. He's going to graduate in December in 3 years. Some speculation he might go somewhere else, some that he might go on to the NFL. I think you see the skill set and the size, but based on the body of work, it's hard to imagine he'd be a high draft choice. He's a 5-star recruit, and Klubnik a top recruit as well.
Well, he got off to a different start than DJ. Hit his first couple passes, and then they did a nice job mixing the run, the quarterback run, and you could just tell he brought a little juice to the offense. Here was the touchdown pass. Beautiful place to put the football to Davis Allen. You know, the other thing, the reality of college football now, in the case of a guy like Cade Klubnik, it's hard to keep backup quarterbacks on your team now. High-profile 4- or 5-star guys, if they're not playing early in their career, they're looking for somewhere else to go as well.
From the 25, Omarion Hampton, talented true freshman running back, stumbled ahead for a couple. Hampton, one of their top recruits out of high school last year. Clayton, North Carolina, 4-star recruit. Whoa, they missed the handoff. And Clemson has the football. Well, Hampton just into the game. Didn't make the connection with May, and Ruga Rororo has the ball back for the Tigers.
It's kind of hard to tell who that's really on. I think it might be on May. The running back puts his arms up. The quarterback's job is to put the ball in the belly of the back, and it looked like May was maybe a little hesitant whether to give it to him or keep it. And the worst case scenario happened, which was the ball ended up on the ground. Clemson defense that's been, or this team that's been on the wrong side of the turnover margin for the last 5 games gets a big one right there.
Yeah, they just had it handed to them. The Tigers will take it. Set up in a 7-7 game now at the 23. Maffa, left-handed pass back to Klubnik. Cade Klubnik inside the 10 and shoved out of bounds. Cedric Gray saved the touchdown.
Well, who knew Phil Maffa was a left-handed thrower? They run the sweep to the left. He tosses it back to Klubnik. And you see the speed and athleticism. Well conceived, well designed, and well executed play right after the turnover called by Brandon Streeter.
"19-yard play. First and goal, final minute of the opening quarter. Clemson trying to take the lead, and they do. Phil Maffa, the touchdown from 4 yards out. Fourth rushing touchdown of the season for Maffa, sophomore from Loganville, Georgia.
Big block by Mitchell Mays, the new starting left guard in there for Clemson, replacing the injured Marcus Tate. On the left side. And it was all set up by their defense, and the mishandled football between May and his freshman tailback. It's on the ground. Ororo comes away with it. And then a little trickery play on the first play after the change of possession. Back to Klubnik, and then Maffa, behind excellent blocking up front, gets another touchdown on the board for Clemson. They take advantage of the turnover in impressive fashion.
We mentioned the last 5 games they've lost the turnover margin. 15 turnovers in the last 5 games. They've gone 3-2. The first 7 games of the year, only 5 turnovers combined, fewest through 7 games since 2005. It's amazing how much it changed, and it really helped wreck their season.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of statistics in football that you can manipulate to say a lot of different things, but turnover margin is usually pretty right on. Those first 7 games, they were +6. The last 5, they've been -8 coming into today. And that's not a good formula for success.
Potter's kickoff is a touchback. Tomorrow, we'll finally get the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups. In the Fiesta Bowl and Peach Bowls, they'll be playing on New Year's Eve on ESPN. Reese and the guys will also unveil all the New Year's 6 bowl games. Final top 25 rankings. It's a 4-hour special, all starting at noon, right after Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN and the app.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with TCU. I still think that they deserve to be in.
I agree 100%.
I think their body of work, their resume was impressive, and what they did today was valiant against a really good Kansas State team.
A good Big 12 conference. They beat 5 ranked teams. And, you know, the magic just ran out today. That looked like it was going to be another incredible comeback.
Yeah, the only question, assuming Michigan wins tonight in the Big Ten, is it going to be an Ohio State-Michigan rematch? Is Ohio State going to go to 3 and TCU 4, or vice versa?
After a 6-yard play to Downs, it's a first down carry for Elijah Green. Jalen Phillips is playing tonight. He's been banged up lately. Made the tackle, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Very entertaining. Bank of America Stadium, the home of the Carolina Panthers of the NFL. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Air Force, huh?
Provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Part of North Carolina's success on the road this season. They were 6-0 away from Chapel Hill.
They didn't win a game the year before on the road, right?
Well, that's a big turnaround. There's Here's Elijah Green on 1st and 10, running for 8 near midfield.
I'd say their ability to run the football so far in this game has been a little bit of a surprise. Phil Longo told us, and so did Mac Brown, says when we play better competition, our offensive line kind of gets up for it. They seem to play their best. Jack McNell Jr., the new offensive line coach, he and Longo were together at Ole Miss, reunited here. Those guys up front are off to a pretty good start tonight against this Clemson front.
Well, they have some veterans, particularly on the left side of the offensive line. Drake May slides down, has the first down into Clemson territory.
They have a lot of pass plays in their offense where it's not necessarily a called quarterback draw, but he has the option to run quarterback draw if they drop a lot of guys in coverage. There's a good feel for that.
May sacked back at midfield. Barrett Carter, first contact.
Now Barrett Carter is the guy who got there, and Kamari Morales, the tight end, just didn't see him. He's here. He's going to come through this hole. Now watch Morales. He's there to pick up the blitzer, but he loses sight of him. He helps out the back, and he totally whiffed on Barrett Carter. That's what he was staying in there to do, was to block that blitzing linebacker.
Dabo Swinney raves about Barrett Carter. Says he's one of the best football players in my 20 years at Clemson as head coach and an assistant coach. 2nd and 14. Josh Downs trying to maneuver, tackled by his high school teammate. When we visited with Josh Downs last night, he mentioned that he and Barrett Carter played together. There must have been a pretty good high school team in Georgia, North Gwinnett High School. He said Carter used to cover in practice. Said, you can't cover me, don't worry, you're not going to have to do that in college. He said, I could cover anybody, even if I'm a linebacker. Downs breaks the tackle and has the first down. Jalen Phillips couldn't get him on the ground, and Barrett Carter's old teammate did.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips a little banged up, as a lot of guys are at this point in the season. He's in position to make the tackle short of the first down, but not able to wrap up Josh Downs.
Tar Heels led 7-0, now down by 7. And Elijah Green chopped down by Andrew Makuba. Old high school teammates.
I think one of the things that Dabo loves about Barrett Carter is his versatility. I mean, he can blitz, he can cover in the pass game, he can be tough against the run. I mean, he is very versatile in what he can do at that linebacker position.
Here's the sophomore from Sewanee, Georgia. He's 6'1", 225. Dabo said he could play anywhere. Running back, wide receiver, Drake May ducks down at the 30-yard line with KJ Henry there for Clemson.
There's nowhere to go with the football. Good coverage. It was only a 4-man rush that time by Clemson, but Drake May nowhere to go with it. Second sack by Clemson right now. That puts them at 38, and they are trying to get to that 40 mark. If they do that, it would be 9 years in a row that the Clemson defense has recorded.
They're the only team, this is year 9 of the college football playoff format. They're the only team that's had 40 sacks or more in each of the first 8. May crowded. Josh Downs! And if he was not taken down by Makuba, that was likely a touchdown. They do get the first down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, single coverage, Downs with a nice route and a perfect place for the football, and you're right. There's nobody behind Josh Downs. If Makuba doesn't make that tackle, it's a North Carolina touchdown. Again, you see when Drake May has time, he has vision, he has excellent field vision, he's accurate, he can make throws rolling out left or right.
Poised.
Very poised, very poised. And he has great instincts of when to run also.
And a stoppage in play here.
UNC takes its first time out of the half.
A North Carolina timeout. 10:35 to go till halftime of the Subway ACC Championship. You're watching the Subway ACC Championship. Drake May in North Carolina trying to win the school's 6th ACC football title, their first since 1980, when their star player was Lawrence Taylor. They're down 14-7, but on the move. 1st and 10 at the Clemson 20. Drake May hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete in the end zone. Sheridan Jones was a blitzer who got to Drake May.
Yeah, they brought pressure off the short side. Sheridan Jones is going to come into your screen. Drake May knows that he's coming free and just tries to get rid of the football. Well-designed corner blitz. When it comes from the short side of the field, he doesn't have as far to get to the quarterback. He's able to force the ball to be thrown away by May.
They run Kobe Paysour on late.
Yeah, they did have 2 tight ends and 12 personnel, and they wanted to take one of those guys out and bring another receiver in.
Clemson allowed the substitute, and now the play clock is running off. The officials are going to talk about this.
UNC takes its 2nd timeout of the half.
Well, I think it's really on Mac Brown and his coaches. They waited a long time to make that late substitution. So Clemson is afforded the opportunity to substitute as well. The Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway coming up. Stay tuned. At the half, watch 2 deserving students compete for a life-changing grand prize of $100,000 in tuition from Dr. Pepper.
Sean Antoine Green has only been targeted 1 time so far tonight. No catches. He's one of their best in winning one-on-one matchups. He's lined up against Nate Wiggins, who has really come a long way for this Clemson pass defense over the course of the year. But if he stays single, this might be a place for Drake May to take a shot at Antoine Green.
12th play of the drive. They've held the ball for more than 5 minutes. 2nd and 10 at the Clemson 20. May, far sideline, right on target, caught. Josh Downs with an 8-yard play. May now 5 out of 6 on this drive.
And a lot more pressure from Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator. They started out the game rushing 3, dropping 8. They are trying to heat it up a little bit more on Drake May. And so far, the North Carolina offensive line and backs are doing a pretty good job keeping him clean.
3rd and 2, could be 4 down country if they don't get it here. Mac Brown has gone for a lot of 4th downs. May flushed by a blitzing linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter. Now yanked down by Trenton Simpson, and they get a flag, likely for a horse collar.
Yeah, Simpson is saying he just had the jersey and not up around the neck. He definitely slung Drake May to the ground, and Drake May has been able to outrun a lot of guys, but Simpson showed great speed laterally. Was it face mask or was it around the collar?
It's a face mask against May. Was the signal by the referee Roach for twisting Simpson's headgear around.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 10. Penalties decline, defense will take the result of the play. 4th down.
Mac Brown thought it was going to go his way. It is not. And now the decision.
Direction. Clemson has decided to accept the penalty. It'll be 15 yards, 3rd down.
Well, let's quickly bring in our referee, Matt Austin. You think they got that right?
I do, Sean. It's an unusual call to have it go on the offense like that. But as you said, he did grab the face mask and he did twist and pull it. So that's a good call. As far as the horse collar, it's got to be the side of the jersey or the back. And this was actually more close to the front. And it didn't endanger his legs by snapping him down backwards. So I think they did get this right.
Yeah, I think Drake May was just trying to stiff arm, and he's actually lucky that he didn't hurt a finger by getting his hand caught in the face mask. It was not his throwing hand, it was his left hand, but kind of an unusual play. 3rd and long now.
We are still in field goal range. Now a timeout called by Clemson.
Clemson takes
Crowd
its
still
first
doesn't
timeout
like
of
the
half.
call, the pro
With a 30-second
Tar Heel
timeout.
fans. Mac Brown now 71 years old and still fiery, as you can see. Second stint as head coach at the University of North Carolina, year 4. And a 9-win season, hoping to make it 10. They're still in the top 25. They're number 23. Here's the top 10 as of earlier this week, brought to you by AT&T 5G. Georgia certainly going to remain number 1. Yeah. And that gets interesting. If Michigan wins against Purdue, you'd have to think they're a lock for number 2 as well. What do you think is going to transpire thereafter?
Yeah, well, I think Ohio State will move up. It's just a matter of, and I think TCU will stay in the top 4. My biggest question, I think everybody's question, is who will be 3 and who will be 4? How will it shape up?
Well, hard to punish TCU, in my opinion, for playing in the championship game, losing in overtime when they were an inch away from taking a touchdown lead in overtime. And it's kind of something wrong with the system if a team can benefit from staying at home, like Ohio State. Boy, last week we talked about a path to the playoff for Clemson, and it was really right there for them. Trying to win the conference title. May, beautiful throw, and a diving catch by Antoine Green. They convert on 3rd and 17.
Well, this was a crazy cushion out here. I mean, there's pressure. Drake May just drifts a little bit away from Brazil, but way too much cushion by Sheridan Jones. I mean, that's easy. It's 3rd and 17, and he was about 25 yards off the receiver. And North Carolina able to convert on 3rd and very long.
They've been hurt by balls down the field for a lot of the year in that Clemson secondary. 1st and goal. May zings one, incomplete off the hand of Antoine Green.
Well, he was open too. He was working on Wiggins that time. There was a little bit of a cushion there and just a little miscommunication. May thinking his receiver was going to continue inside, and Antoine Green kind of held up right there in between defenders.
15th play of the drive for Drake May and the Tar Heel offense. 6 out of 8 on this sequence. 12 out of 17 for the game. And he scored their touchdown on the ground. Handed it off to Green, who got dropped for a loss. Behind the line of scrimmage by Trenton Simpson, another Charlotte native back in his hometown.
Yeah, these linebackers are all coming in here. A lot of pressure around the line of scrimmage. Trotters blitzing, Simpson's blitzing, and they get behind the line of scrimmage and get the play.
Simpson and Drake May played 7-on-7 together as kids here in the Charlotte area. Drake May said Simpson was a running back and he was a beast. A tremendous linebacker, semifinalist for the Buckus Award.
They clock down under 5.
On 3rd down and goal from the 14. They converted 3rd and 17 to the end zone and incomplete. Broken up by Nate Wiggins. It was intended for Antoine Green.
He's their best in one-on-one situations, and he had single coverage on Wiggins. No safety help. Drake May gave him a shot. The only question was the contact a little early before the ball got there, but pretty well played by Nate Wiggins, who again, when we saw him against Wake Forest, he struggled and he showed immaturity. He had bad eyes, and he has continued to get better and better, playing at a much different level now in that secondary.
It's Noah Burnett, a 31-yard field goal, and it is blocked. Nate Wiggins blocked it. What a sequence for the sophomore from Atlanta.
Special teams hurt Clemson a week ago in their loss to South Carolina. Big play here. Nobody gets a piece of them. That's the tight end, John Copenhaver, 81, does not get any piece of the outside guy. And Nate Wiggins able to use that length and that long body and get in there and block the field goal. Now you tell the end guy on the field goal, he's got to kind of step inside and reach outside. He's got to be able to get a piece of two guys. He only got one.
Also seemed that Burnett was a little slow getting to the ball off a shaky week last week. In fact, missed one in the second overtime that ended the game. Joseph Ngata. Tackled by Marcus Allen, another true freshman.
I mean, the operation seemed okay. They just didn't get enough piece.
Yeah, they needed a bigger piece of Wiggins. I do think Burnett, they would want him, the coaches, to speed it up a little bit. On 2nd and 1, after 9 from first down, Shipley again.
That's a discouraging drive if you're North Carolina. What a stop by Clemson. I mean, they had the ball, they moved it, they had a lot of plays, and they get down in there. They converted a couple big third down plays, and they come away with nothing, and still down 7 on the scoreboard.
17-play drive. Will Shipley again to the 31. Here's Kevin Nagandi.
Sean, time now for our Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update. Big Ten championship, and Boog, watch out for Purdue.
Throwing the line of scrimmage, being physical with Michigan.
Devin Maccabee going in. They're up 10-7 against Michigan, Dan.
Big score, but Michigan on the goal line driving now.
Sean, Todd, Molly, back to you.
All right, Boilermakers. A rough weekend for the teams that were in the top 4 and are playing in championship games. Deep ball caught! And down at the 1-yard line.
What a throw by Klubnik. I mean, he launched this ball.
To Cole Turner.
DeAndre Boykins, number 16, the star nickelback, was the guy in coverage. Turner is not even on our charts,
No,
and he just made
not
a huge
on
play.
the depth chart. And he would have had a touchdown if he hadn't staggered to the ground.
That plays under further review.
68 yards from Cade Klubnik to Cole Turner. Longest pass play all season for Clemson.
What a beautiful throw. Deep over the outside shoulder. Turner had some separation. There's a look from the progressive pylon cam as he's stumbling towards the end zone. You can see the elbow is down, or the forearm is down before the ball crosses the plane. But what an effort and what a throw. You know, if you're North Carolina, you got to figure, okay, if this guy's in the game, we don't even have him on our depth chart. It can't be a pass, right? It's got to be a run. If he's in at wide out, next thing you know, they're throwing it over your head.
Cole Turner had played in 8 snaps all year. 1 game. All of them were against Miami in their one-sided win, second to last game of the regular season. They're looking to see if he stepped out. He clearly didn't get into the end zone.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It'll be 1st and goal, the half-yard line.
My goodness. We've seen a couple interesting things.
He's the brother of Nolan Turner, longtime standout of the secondary. Son of Kevin Turner. A college teammate of Dabo Swinney at Alabama. So they mark it inside the 1. Second catch of the season and the second of his career. And he sets them up to take a 2-touchdown lead with Shipley, the running back. High snap handled by Klubnik. He keeps and walks in. They all went for the fake to Shipley, and it's a Tiger touchdown.
Yeah, he walked in, and this was, in essence, a 14-point swing and turnaround. North Carolina poised to tie the game up in scoring territory. Clemson gets it, blocks the field goal, gets the long throw, and then Klubnik pays it off by calling his own number. Nice fake, patient with the fake, and an easy touchdown for Cade Klubnik.
Well, they had 2 possessions with DJ Uiagalelei, 2 3-and-outs. Klubnik came in, 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns, and they still haven't even had to play a 3rd down. B.T. Potter the extra point. Set up by the blocked field goal. Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins made a play on 3rd down to force the incompletion, got the block, and then out of nowhere, Cole Turner.
The freshman from Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
The new subway.
Back in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. 18th edition of the ACC championship game. 12th time it's been played here in Charlotte. And it'll be played here at least through 2030. It's a touchback, and here's Molly.
Well, Sean, a switch has been flipped on Clemson's sideline since Cade Klubnik came in at quarterback. Defensive players were looking at each other, shocked and excited, saying, wow, he is really good. And Klubnik telling his teammates, we're just getting started. And to DJ Uiagalelei's credit, he's the first guy congratulating Klubnik, talking him through coverages on the sideline and being a great teammate, but make no mistake, Cade Klubnik is now the guy that everyone is looking to on this sideline.
It's always a tough situation, whether you're the starter, whether you're the backup, when there's a change like this, but he definitely has some juice right now, and the whole team is feeding off of him.
Those are 2 young quarterbacks with glittering resumes. Long pass. Josh Downs got tangled up with Andrew Makuba. And there's going to be a penalty here against the safety.
And again, Clemson is continuing now to try to bring pressure on Drake May. They started out the game trying to block coverage.
Defense number 1. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
And the trade-off, if you're bringing pressure, is you're going to have isolated situations for your defensive backs. And that's what Makuba found himself in. One-on-one against Josh Downs. Good pressure by Tyler Davis. But the penalty helps out North Carolina on that one.
From the 35. May takes off running. It's been a big part of their offense. When he's flushed, he just takes off running. He got 4.
The difference is the speed of this Clemson defense, though. That looked like it was going to be open for more yards, but Trenton Simpson, who's now taking himself out of the game, showed great lateral movement in making the tackle. T.J. Dudley now a true freshman in his place.
Elijah Green off left tackle for very little to the 40. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Tyler Davis made the tackle. He was first team All ACC this year, as was Miles Murphy. And I think, of all the highly touted defensive linemen, it's Murphy whose up and down season is most mysterious and frustrating to the Clemson coaches.
Yeah, I mean, when he wants to go, he's almost unblockable. But there are times when you don't know that he's out there at all. Tyler Davis is more steady, workmanlike.
Here's pressure again. May had to pull it down once, still put it on target. The ball comes out after Green hit the ground, and it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass.
Incomplete, or was he down when the ball came out?
I thought the official running in from the far sideline was saying incomplete. Apparently he's going to call it catch and then down.
A completed catch for a first down.
Wiggins with some early contact there as well.
Yeah, I think that's a catch, and the ball just got ripped out when he was on the ground.
I agree. I think the officials got it right. That's why they're here. They're the best officials in the ACC, have earned the opportunity to officiate the championship game. Not sure Dabo agrees.
Ruling on the field of a first down. Completed catch is under further review.
the belly of Mac Brown. Timeout. Away, the announcement made that the call on the field stands, a completion, a catch, and it's a first down for North Carolina on the grab by Antoine Green. Mac Brown didn't like when they went to the replay, but he's happy with the result. His team down by 14. Drake May over the middle, caught, spinning away, Josh Downs inside the 30 and out at the 26-yard line of Clemson.
Nice little wrinkle that time by Phil Longo. He moved the quarterback by design out of the pocket to the left. He threw back to Downs, and Downs changed his direction. He's coming from right to left, and as soon as he caught it, he reversed field and fooled the defender and added about 12 more yards to that play just by a little quick instinctive move to change direction.
Big half for Josh Downs. They've targeted him 7 times. They've completed all 7 for 77 yards. And a 17-play drive last time that resulted in a blocked field goal. Elijah Green weaves down inside the 16 with another Tar Heel first down.
Really important drive right here for North Carolina. Remember, they won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball first to start the third quarter.
They go with tempo. And Green inside the 13-yard line. The stop made by Barrett Carter.
You got to be thinking touchdown here. You try to field goal the last time, you're already down 2 touchdowns. Phil Longo's got to be creative and aggressive here, but first and foremost, he's got to make sure his quarterback is protected.
They have moved the ball. They have 209 yards of offense. They've had the ball almost twice as long as Clemson. And a costly turnover and a blocked field goal that really hurt North Carolina in this first half. 2nd and 8. Run fake and the pass caught. Gavin Blackwell.
Well, I said you got to be creative, and that was creative. It was a different looking play. They definitely sold the run fake, and then he just raised up and threw, and it kind of froze the Clemson defense, and they got the first down.
So it's 1st and goal, and Mac Brown, a master of managing the clock. This is smart. You take your time.
Yep.
You don't want to leave Clemson much time. From the 3, 1st and goal. Pressure brought. And Green is in trouble and dropped. Back at the 7-yard line by Trenton Simpson.
Barrett Carter was there, and Trenton Simpson. Again, these 2 outside linebackers are so quick, so aggressive. Both behind the line of scrimmage, and lost yardage that time for North Carolina.
Injured player, I believe it's KJ Henry. And here's Kevin Nagandi.
Sean, we hope KJ's okay. Capital One halftime report just minutes away. Dan Mullen, Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi here. You know, Cade Klubnik, a completely different team when he's on the field for Clemson.
And what took him Dabo so long to put him in the game? And DJ clearly doesn't have any confidence, evident by that first throw where he bounced it to the receiver.
You just see it right from the beginning. It wasn't going to be his night. And Drake May, right now, we got to see how he responds, because they're having more success pressuring him than dropping everybody into coverage. They need to keep coming after him.
Big Ten championship game still going on right now in the first half. Michigan up by only 4. Highlights coming your way, Sean. Back to you.
Thank you very much. The team's 3 and 4 in the current college football playoff rankings. Played in championship games and lost.
Yep,
TCU and USC. Georgia a winner in the SEC championship. Michigan trying to avoid having it be 3 losses for teams in the top 4 in the title games this weekend.
And congratulations to Kansas State and Utah for capping a fine season in both cases.
Again, they're letting the clock go down. The reason why Mac Brown's won 274 games. The back shoulder throw broken up.
Wow, Wiggins, what a play.
What a half he's having. It was Antoine Green, the target again.
This is a good throw. I mean, it's one-on-one. It's a good throw. He's got the ball, and Wiggins rips it out. Antoine Green is just not able to secure the catch. He has both hands on the football, and Wiggins rips it out. I mean, they are challenging one another. Right now, I'd say Wiggins is having the better of it.
Four-star recruit out of Atlanta, originally committed to LSU. He has matured as the season's gone along. Elijah Green, the running back, on 3rd and goal. May looked like a design run after the fake, and Jeremiah Trotter tripped him up.
Well, Jeremiah Trotter was coming on a blitz, and the left guard, Ed Montelis, doesn't get enough of a piece of him. Here's Trotter, watch the left guard. All he's got to do is just kind of get a shoulder on him, and he's open to the end zone.
1 minute 23 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
But the right guard missed the block, and Trotter was able to make the play.
So now the adventure, Noah Burnett was having a nice year. He had missed only 2 all season prior to last week, but went 2 out of 4 against NC State. And had his first attempt blocked here tonight by Nate Wiggins. They did send the field goal team out. Clemson used a timeout, trying to save some time for another offensive possession with the offense rolling with Cade Klubnik at the helm.
Well, the last time they were down here, they came away with no points. They'll try another field goal, but they had a touchdown right there. If the left guard gets a piece of the blitzing linebacker, there's nobody else in front of Drake May to the end zone.
So Burnett now 12 out of 17. 3 of the 5 misses have been in the last 2 games.
There's Wiggins again, same spot.
They better block him. And Burnett might want to be a little speedier to the ball. No problem that time. Good from 25 yards for the sophomore from Raleigh. We had a big play earlier in the year. He kicked the game-winning field goal from 33 yards late in their 2-point win at Wake Forest, which is a game which they clinched the Coastal Division. Let's head down to the sidelines. Here's Molly.
Well, Sean, this Tar Heels team is inspired by something much bigger than football. In practice this week, head coach Mack Brown announced that wide receiver Tylee Kraft received the Disney Spirit Award this year, given to the most inspirational figure in college football. In March, Kraft was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and during aggressive chemotherapy treatments and the battle for his life, he didn't miss a practice, meeting, or game, and even visits with other cancer patients weekly at UNC's Cancer Center. And Kraft was running around in pregame warmups, firing up his teammates. He's very involved with this team, and he told us he finished his last round of chemo 2 weeks ago. He'll have scans December 9th to find out if he's in the clear, but he told us he feels great, and this team has really helped him get through his toughest time, Sean.
And they have learned from his toughness. Mack Brown said there are times he came straight from chemo to practice, and he was ill and was still there to support his teammates. Please pray for him. What a nice young man. We really enjoyed the visit. His mom, September, is here tonight. Those scans, everybody will be on pins and needles waiting for the results. He very nearly died shortly after he was diagnosed, and still hoping to come back and play someday. There is the information. Remember, 100% of your donation goes to cancer research. V.org/donate. You know, the employee positions in the V Foundation are endowed. Those are people already paid by people who have donated money. So everything that you give goes straight to the cause. There is Tylee's mom. So here's Klubnik setting up a screen on first down. And Will Shipley runs out of bounds to save some time. They have 1 timeout left. They have 1:14.
Well, I'd say if you're Brandon Streeter, you feel pretty good about turning your young quarterback loose, because he's been really confident, he's been sharp, he's been accurate. I think you try to be a little aggressive here. That was a good first down call with the screen to Shipley. You make a first down right away here, and you get a little more aggressive.
Klubnik 8 for 8 passing now. Takes off running. Broke away from Miles Murphy. Each team has a Miles Murphy on the defensive line. And Will Hardy made the play, but it's another first down for Clemson. Clock stopped for a moment to move the chains. They have B.T. Potter, one of the strongest legs in the country, warming up. Good catch on a ball behind him by Joseph Ngata, right to midfield with another first down. So Klubnik still perfect. 9 for 9 for 145 and a touchdown. And he has run for a score as well. Looked one way, wide receiver screen to Ngata. That is a tough play for them. Will they use the last timeout? Marcus Allen made the tackle. Dabo electing not to use it here, and he wants them to hurry up. Potter has a very strong leg, probably not in field goal range unless they get that right there. But Antonio Williams couldn't hang on.
Oh, it was a little bit high, but a catchable pass nonetheless. Klubnik did a nice job of just waiting until something opened, and the normally sure-handed Antonio Williams just not able to bring that one in. With the one timeout, you can throw this thing anywhere on the field. Try to get the first down. The clock will stop until they move the change. If you do get a first down, you can even spike it and save that timeout if you want.
Career long for Potter's 52, but he's got enough leg to make one from longer than that. Klubnik running, has the first down and a lot more, comfortably in field goal range, and he got out of bounds with 11 seconds to go. What a half for Cade Klubnik.
We talked about the poise of young Drake May. This is poise here too. Eyes downfield for as long as he possibly could. Got a nice block by Shipley at the end of the play, but the right decision to take off and to get out of bounds with the presence of mind. So I'll tell you what, he has done nothing wrong in this first half.
Just tuning in, DJ Uiagalelei started. The first two series are both 3 and outs, and Klubnik replaced him. Klubnik throwing into single coverage, has Ngata, and it's well played by legend Cavazos, who's in for the injured Storm Duck, a transfer from Ohio State. There's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage along the near sideline.
Well, he was beat. The ball was a little bit underthrown, and that's why Cavazos was able to catch up and make a play on the ball.
Eligible receiver downfield on the pass. Offense number 84. He was coming up in formation, went down. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
Davis Allen obviously is normally an eligible receiver, but because of the formation, here he is right here. Because this receiver is on the line of scrimmage and not off, he's covered and he's not able to go downfield. So it's all for naught, but the ball was underthrown by Klubnik. That enabled the defender to make a play.
So this will be a 52-yard try for Potter, which would match his career long. He's made 8 career field goals of over 50 yards, most in Clemson history. And a timeout call by Carolina.
UNC takes its final timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Potter, by the way, if he makes this field goal, will make history. He has 99 points for the season. If he makes this, it's 102. He'd be the first player in ACC history to have 4 seasons of 100 points or more. Here's a look at tonight's fighting spirit moment, brought to you by Modelo. And boy, did Klubnik bring this fighting spirit the minute he entered the game.
He really did, doing a little bit of everything. Hit his first several, all of his passes to the last one. And perfect throw of the football, moving in the pocket, got the touchdown to Davis Allen. Little trick play with the throwback to the quarterback. And it's just his presence and the juice that he brought, not just to the offense, but to the entire Clemson team and sideline, as Molly reported. And this run, this heads-up run to get him into sure field goal range. Well done, Cade Klubnik.
From 52. Good! His 9th field goal of 50+, his 4th 100-point season, and he has scored in 53 straight games, tying the school record held by Chandler Catanzaro back in 2010 to 2013, and he went on to kick in the NFL. It's a homecoming for Potter, the 5th-year senior, who's from just across the border in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Here's Molly.
Sean, I'm trying to catch up with Coach, and here he is. Coach Sweeney, what went into your decision to make the change at quarterback early in this game?
Just missed some throws first 2 drives. So, we knew we were going to put him in 3rd or 4th series. And, he went in and he never came out. So, tried to do that in Notre Dame game, threw a pick. And, hey, this was the time. So, really proud of him. Proud of the guys making plays. Big stop by the defense there. Hold them to a field goal and a good 2-minute drive right there. Long way to go. This team can score a bunch of points quick.
Is Cade Klubnik your quarterback for the rest of this game?
Yeah, it'll be his game.
All right, thank you. Sean.
If he isn't, he's going to have some explaining to do. We're at the half. Clemson leading North Carolina 24-10. We'll send you to the studio for the Capital One halftime report after this message and word from our ABC stations. Big part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week for the 11th time in 12 years from Charlotte, North Carolina. Clemson trying to win its 7th ACC title in the last 8 years, leading North Carolina 24-10. DJ Uiagalelei starter, was ineffective in 2 series, replaced by Cade Klubnik, anything but ineffective.
Oh, he's been brilliant since his very first pass. He was 10 for 11 throwing the football. This beautiful touchdown pass to Davis Allen in the back of the end zone. Just made good decisions. Even caught a pass in the first half and a little trick play that led to another score. He was everything. Ran a touchdown, caught a pass, threw a touchdown. And then right before the half, this was a great play. Just knowing when to run, get out of bounds, set up the field goal right before the end of the half. And he just couldn't play any better than Cade Klubnik did in that first half.
He was in for 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and the field goal might have been because they ran out of time. Yeah. He was in for 22 plays, Todd. They only got to 3rd down once. That's how good they were. And on that 3rd down, he ran for 16 yards. As Dabo said to Molly at the half, they planned to get Klubnik in anyway, but I think as bad as DJ was, that sped up that plan a little bit.
I don't know that they planned to do it the way they did, but when he came in and played as well as he did, there was no going back at that point.
Klubnik, 10 out of 11 passing for a touchdown, 149 yards. He ran 4 times for 32 yards and a touchdown. BT Potter kicks off. It'll be a touchback. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, UNC's head coach Mack Brown said Clemson's change at quarterback absolutely changed everything in this game because they knew how to affect DJ Uiagalelei and took away his confidence, but they're still figuring out how to take away Cade Klubnik's confidence. He said, we're going to have to light him up, blitz him, and get after him to win this game. And offensively, he said on this drive, they need to score to put the pressure on Clemson. And he told his team, don't look at the score, just get this game into the 4th quarter and chip away, and we can still win this.
I think the frustration for Mack Brown and the Tar Heels, they had those 2 long drives in the first half back-to-back that gained 128 yards. They had the ball for almost 11 minutes, 28 plays on the 2 drives, and got only 3 points. 1 field goal after 1 was blocked. Elijah Green, gain of about 4. Ooh, Drake May looked like his elbow was bothering him as he was warming up for the start of this second half.
Interesting.
He was 15 for 22 in the first half. They lost a fumble on a missed exchange with Amarian Hampton, the running back. That was costly. He rushed for 17 yards on 9 carries, scored their only touchdown. On second down, trying to run away again, and he cannot escape from Jeremiah Trotter.
The speed of these 3 linebackers is just different for Drake May tonight with Clemson because he's been doing those kind of things and making those decisions to run all season. It looks like he's got space, but from inside out, Jeremiah Trotter shacks him down.
Here's 3rd down and 8.
Josh Downs has been his main guy right here in the slot.
And a flag down. Michael Roach, the referee.
Delay of game, disconcerting signals. Defense number 1, with your clapping signal. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It looked like Awesome Richards jumped the left end of the offensive line, but it was the disconcerting signals from Makuba apparently that caused that.
Didn't see a whole lot there, but you don't see that called that often, but kind of a gift for North Carolina. 3rd, much more manageable. Drake May won't have to hold the ball as long on this play.
6 out of 9 on 3rd down in the first half. Quick pass caught. Downs spins for a few more, but didn't get completely away from Makuba, who'll be credited with the tackle. But it's a 1st down for Carolina on the 8th catch of the game for Josh Downs.
And again, how big was that penalty? That's a quick throw right out in the flat to Josh Downs. You don't have to hold it a long time if you're Drake May. Clemson with 3 sacks of the quarterback in that first half. A lot more pressure packages by Wes Goodwin's defense as that game went on in the first half.
After the play fake, May hit as he throws up for grabs and nearly intercepted, intended for Downs, and it was Wade Woodaz in coverage.
Well, they got good pressure, collapse the pocket. It's Brazee who's going to come from this side. They've even got a tight end there to kind of be able to help. He's working on the right tackle, Spencer Rollin. He gets there and puts the hit.
Looked like Brazee was being held as well.
It's a pretty good job by Josh Downs getting a hand in there. Otherwise, it's probably intercepted.
Such a good receiver, Josh Downs. Dad Gary, fine running back at NC State, played in the NFL. And his uncle is Dre Bly, one of the great players in North Carolina history, and now on their coaching staff. May forced to throw it away. There's Brian Brazee again.
He's cranking it up here a little bit. He went outside the play before. This time he spun back inside, showing a different move. And right now, Spencer Rollin has got his hands full. He's out. KJ Henry has taken his place. Should mention also, Clemson has a guy back now to start the second half. R.J. Mickens, one of their starting safeties, had to sit out the first half because of a targeting foul in the last game. This is him right here, number 9, lined up over the slot.
3rd down and 10. May jump pass on target, and a big tackle made by Sheridan Jones. And it looked like he got Antoine Green down just short of the line to gain, and he did. So it'll be 4th down and 1, and a decision for Mack Brown here very early in the 3rd quarter. He's gone for it a lot on 4th down. He said that's today's football, with the tilt toward analytics, and he has adapted with the times. They've gone for it 30 times on 4th down. They've made 21. 70% is 15th best in the country out of 131.
Wasn't ready for the snap. That's going to be a penalty. Not sure what Corey Gaynor, the center, if he heard something or what.
False start on the offense. When all 11 players got set. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, now do you go for it?
I don't know if you do now. I think you got to punt the ball now.
That's what they're going to do. Drake May, after the whistle, was gesturing at Mike Roach, the referee, and clapping as if to say there were disconcerting signals coming again.
Well, something affected Corey Gaynor because he snapped it before anybody was ready.
Grad transfer from Miami. Here's Ben Kiernan on to punt. Antonio Williams back deep. Kiernan came over age 15 from Ireland. Almost took too long. KJ Henry very nearly blocked it. Takes a good bounce for the Heels. So the offense coming back out. It was Brian Brzee, a big force on the defense on that last series. And what a awful year it's been for Brian, his family. Most of you know he lost his 15-year-old sister Ella back in mid-September to brain cancer. And shortly after she passed away, Brian Brzee started having health issues himself, and for several days they didn't know what it was. You can imagine how alarmed they were. It turned out to be a kidney infection. He gained 45 pounds because he couldn't expel water from his body. And when they figured it out, he lost the 45 pounds. The last few weeks he's been battling strep throat. What an impressive young man. And, we mentioned it's V week, and all of us have been affected by it, and there are folks on both sides, as we mentioned tonight, who have lost loved ones recently or have loved ones still in the battle.
You know, we asked him, you know, what message would you want us to pass along that has been strength for you and your family? And he just said, make sure you tell the people you love that you love them.
Well, Klubnik had the ball fly out of his hand, slip as he wanted to throw to the right. And he said, make sure, you never know. You know, if you're even going to have tomorrow, make sure the people around you know how much you love them. And certainly Ella knew. And Dad Rich and Mom Megan and sisters Kendall and Bailey from the Clemson football program, which really embraced Ella and rallied around her and supported her in her fight. V.org/donate is where you can go. The Z family, as you saw here tonight. 3rd down and 11. Cade Klubnik in trouble and dropped back at the 16-yard line by Jacoby Cowan.
Well,
who's a backup ordinarily, sorry Todd, thrust into action because of those injuries to some starters ahead of him.
Here's one of the changes. Ra Dilworth is in here in the dime. He's going to be spying the quarterback. Watch, he fakes rush. Now he spies, and he's responsible for Cade Klubnik. That's one little wrinkle, one little change that Gene Chizik and the North Carolina staff said, okay, this is a different quarterback. This is one thing we can do, and it paid off. And they should be able to flip the field here after that 3rd down stop.
Swanson's had an up and down season in his first year punting. This one is returnable. Caught on the run. Josh Downs surveying the traffic and goes down at the 50-yard line. 40-yard punt, 6-yard return. Beautiful night in the Queen City. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Here's tonight's Nissan Heisman Watch. Caleb Williams, the USC quarterback, considered the front runner, and his numbers similar to Drake May, who has more total yards. Caleb Williams responsible for more touchdowns.
It was unfortunate last night that we weren't able to see a fully healthy Caleb Williams in that Pac-12 championship game. Definitely bothered by the injury to his leg.
They got off to a flying start. He was injured. The offense wasn't the same. Give Utah credit. They played a great game. 9-yard rush there for May. Those 42 touchdowns responsible for May this year. 2nd most in a season in ACC history by a freshman. The record's 44 by Jameis Winston. Of course, won a Heisman Trophy in his career. He got 9. This is their best starting field position of the night. An impressive opening drive. Have had just a field goal since then, even though they have moved the ball up and down the field. 1st down for Elijah Green. And to put in perspective this season that Drake May's had, to me, why he merits Heisman consideration. The last 2 quarterbacks to average 300 yards per game passing while leading their team in rushing, Johnny Manziel in 2013 and Patrick Mahomes. Got to be pretty talented to do what he's doing. Elijah Green swung down by Ruka at the 34-yard line. Clemson coach is well aware of Drake May. They recruited him. Dabo Swinney told us we didn't really think we ever had a serious chance. Drake May's from a North Carolina family. And he's on target. And it's Antoine Green for another first down.
Great poise again. We've talked about his poise. He's scanning the field. He's hanging in the pocket. Came off late to Green for the first down. He was originally committed to Alabama, even though everybody kind of thought he would end up at North Carolina.
Well, he said he was going to Alabama because he wanted to win.
Right.
And then when Mac Brown became the coach, he told Drake May, we are going to win. And they did. They have. Short gain there for Elijah Green, tackled by Miles Murphy.
One of the biggest differences in this game so far, and they're in the high red zone right now, and not quite inside the 20, but in the red zone tonight, Clemson 3 trips, 3 touchdowns. North Carolina 3 trips, only 1 touchdown. They are nearing that area where they've got to capitalize with the yards they've made, their ball possession, all those things. They got to get points.
Hey, a little screen, well blocked. And Elijah Green has a first down at the 10-yard line. Good call by Phil Longo and well executed.
It's man-to-man, so if you get this man blocked right here, you're going to get a good play. Barrett Carter is responsible for coverage. He gets blocked by William Barnes, and it's an excellent play for the first down.
Barnes, the right guard, a first-year starter. They have moved the ball, and they punched it in the end zone for the first time since the first quarter. Green, a nice hole, and he's inside the 5. Second and goal.
Again, 81 yards rushing now. I mean, Clemson told us when we talked to Wes Goodwin, we've got to neutralize, take their run away, and really try to affect the quarterback. And I think North Carolina's had pretty good balance. 195 yards passing, 81 rushing, but enough running success to keep Clemson's defense honest.
Second and goal, 5.5 to go, third quarter. Here comes pressure up the middle. May up for grabs and incomplete, and it's Wiggins who's been a standout tonight, limping a little bit at the end of that play as the ball sailed over his head.
I really think Drake May was throwing that away. I mean, there was pressure coming inside. He didn't really have an open receiver. I think he was just trying to launch it to the back of the end zone.
You think 4-down territory here? You can't keep kicking field goals.
Field goals are not going to help you. You don't know how many times you're going to be inside the 5 against this defense. You've got the good field position after the punt and the stop by your D.
They like design runs down here for May. He has plenty of time. Now he's running away from Davis. Throws it right away. Threw it right to Nate Wiggins. And he is going to go all the way for a Clemson touchdown. 98 yards on the return. May threw it right to him. And if Wiggins was injured after the previous play, it wasn't for very long.
Now, he had John Copenhaver, the tight end, who was over there. You're going to watch now as he extends the play and leaves the pocket. He's going to have a receiver, number 81. But he just makes a bad pass. He doesn't throw it near his guy, and he throws it right to Nate Wiggins. And then he's not able to make the tackle. Once again, in the red zone and coming away empty for this North Carolina offense.
Yeah, that's been the game. I'm told the officials are looking at the replay to make sure that Wiggins didn't drop the ball on the ground before he got in the end zone. His first interception of the season.
Well, we just have not seen that kind of a mistake by Drake May tonight. The play before that, he had pressure. He threw the ball away out of the back of the end zone. That time, he just made a poor throw. He had a receiver, but he made a poor throw.
It's his first career interception for Nate Wiggins. Returned it 98 yards, the longest interception return in ACC championship game history. This is the 18th edition. But he was really out of sorts when we did that game at Wake Forest.
No doubt.
Wake Forest had a big night throwing the ball deep. Wake Forest scored 45 points. They are still determined to see if he dropped the ball here.
Well,
looks to me, unless you see something I don't, like, I mean, he still has it. He's, well, it's coming out there, but let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, what do you think?
Well, if that's the only view they have, Sean, I don't see how they can overturn it. I agree. I think he's
After
across.
further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But boy, has he come on as a player, and apparently, you know, in terms of maturation, as the season went along, I think they were as upset with kind of his vibe and demeanor earlier in the year as they were his spotty play.
Yeah, Dabo told us he really challenged him after that game and after the way.
There's a fake. They're going for two, and they run it in. Drew Sweeney, Dabo's son. Carolina was in the dark, and you can understand why. You're certainly not expecting that. And Dabo dials up his son's number, extending the Sweeney Holder dynasty. Will was the holder for 5 years, and now it's Drew, a graduate student, making it 6 years in a row.
Back in studio time now for our mayhem moment, brought to you by Allstate. Number 2 Michigan trying to avoid mayhem, so Donovan Edwards go right through the Purdue defense, 27 yards. Michigan up 28-13. Also official news, Deion Sanders, the next head coach at Colorado. Sean, Todd, and Molly, back to you.
All right, that'll be interesting. Coach Prime.
Coach Prime. Congratulations to him.
Terrific job at Jackson State. And given the way he's gone to Colorado, why not bring in a personality like him? And a pretty good coach, too. Well, some very costly mistakes. Missed handoff there in the first half led to a Clemson touchdown, and Nate Wiggins, one of his several big plays, blocked the field goal. And then this the second turnover of the night for North Carolina, immediately turned into 8 points. 6 on the 98-yard return by Wiggins, and then they got the 2.
Yeah, it's the combination of their mistakes and inefficiency in the red zone has been their undoing here in the ballgame.
Wiggins is getting some oxygen. He was a little physically ill on the sideline, so he's not out there right now. Low throw, and Antoine Green couldn't rest you. Toriano Pride, the freshman, is in at corner right now, and he's still a little under the weather. And hopefully Scott Johnson will cut off that just in the nick of time. Now we have to vote for the MVP of the game, and right now I think it's a really tough call between Klubnik, who certainly changed the game when he came in, and Wiggins.
Yeah, really tough call. They've both been outstanding.
Drake May, pass batted in the air. A diving attempt made, and the catch made by Downs. It was Trenton Simpson who got a hand on the pass of his old 7-on-7 teammate, Drake May.
Yeah, tied up there with Spencer Rolland. They knew he wasn't going to get to the quarterback. Did the next best thing, just kind of go up in the air, time it, and get a hand on the football.
Downs with his 9 for 86 tonight. He's gone over 1,000 yards receiving for the second time in his career. De'Ami Brown, the only other target able to do that. May going deep this time for Green. And he was well covered by Toriano Pride. The true freshman from St. Louis, who was in there in that entire series for Wiggins.
Well, they felt like, hey, Wiggins is out. We've had trouble making plays against him. Let's try Antoine Green on the freshman. Pride was in perfect position to make a play on that one. Credit to the youngster coming in place of Nate Wiggins and holding his own on 3rd down.
And Kiernan to punt again.
Better get it off a little quicker.
Yeah. And he does. And it's a rocket. Antonio Williams backpedaled to the 16 and fell down just inside the 15. 55-yard punt. Send you to break. We'll give you the athletic trivia question. Do not cheat while we're away. The only ACC championship game MVP to come from the losing team. Put your phone down. Stay away from the computer. 4:08 to go, 3rd quarter. Subway ACC championship from Charlotte. Clemson trying to make it 7 ACC titles in the last 8 years. They won 6 in a row, then they didn't qualify for the game last year. Pitt beat Wake Forest. Cade Klubnik handed off to Will Shipley. Got stacked up and sent back. All right, it's time for the answer. I don't know who's the only ACC championship game MVP from the losing team. You know?
I do.
You do. Go ahead and blurt it out.
C.J. Spiller.
The answer to our athletic trivia question is indeed C.J. Spiller. 301 all-purpose yards in 4 touchdowns. They lost to Georgia Tech 39-34. He had 233 rushing yards in that game. Cade Klubnik is the ball carrier. That's the only time they lost the conference championship game. Back in 2009, they've won 7 in a row since. C.J. Spiller, now the running back coach. They're 6-0 in title games here in Charlotte. Shovel pass ahead to Shipley. And a 1st down.
The other thing that's interesting or different about the championship game this year is the last year for divisions in the ACC, right?
Yeah, they're going to one big conference next
Someone
year.
on the field for an injured player to the defense.
Jabari Ritzie is the injured Tar Heel. That music means one thing. It's Week 13, NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. The Countdown Crew, ESPN and the app. Early breaking stories, injury updates, pre's of each game, and then the kickoffs of the NFL games. And Monday night, also on ESPN, Deportes and the app, the Saints and the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's at 8 Eastern time. Peyton and Eli will be on ESPN2. The Bucks, 5-6. Tom Brady, 19 career wins on Monday Night Football. And we showed C.J. Spiller as they helped Ritzie off. Last week, it was 237 yards rushing for Clemson against South Carolina, and they lost. Only the 2nd time under Dabo Swinney they had lost when rushing for 200 yards. The other loss was way back in 2009, that game against Georgia Tech. Little bonus Affleck information. I'm sure America has enjoyed it.
C.J.
You
Spiller.
were great at that on camera, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes,
James Davis, Thunder
work.
and Lightning, great running back tandem. I just
go with
show
the
up.
flow.
I just
It's
show up.
getting toward
go with
punchy
the flow.
time. You know, it's late night, past my bedtime. Pass incomplete, trying to get it to Adam Randall. Marcus Allen had the coverage.
Marcus Allen is a good-looking young corner for North Carolina. He had to play last week about 24, 25 snaps because of injuries, and he gets the start tonight. Played well in the game last week in the loss to North Carolina State.
They are continuing to recruit very well. You know, that's one of the reasons why the win total has improved in the 4 years under Mac Brown. Out wide and Gata. Will Hardy, another one of those freshmen, highly touted recruits out of Greater Atlanta Christian, made the tackle. another good recruit. Played high school football for his dad, Tim, in Atlanta. And a couple of freshmen, true freshmen, Hardy and Allen, forced in tonight. Klubnik throwing it up for grabs, hoping for Randall. They grabbed him. They didn't really need to. There'll be pass interference on legend Cavazos.
The interesting thing about this is Klubnik throws this ball so high that Cavazos, I think, just gets impatient. He doesn't know where the ball is, and he panics.
There are 2 fouls on the
and
play,
goes into the body of Randall.
Holding offense number 9, pass interference, defense number 6. These penalties will offset. Replay first down.
Jake Brenningstool guilty of the hold.
Tight end number 9 staying in to help protect. Oh yeah, there it is. It's a takedown.
I don't think either team has an argument with the flag against them on that play. One of the few times we really don't need to bring Matt Austin in.
He's just laughing.
For a rules question. Klubnik on the run, and it's dropped. And Cole Turner, one of the big surprises of this game. He played in only one game. It was against Miami for 8 snaps. He had 1 catch for 9 yards. But you know, they've been lacking that deep throw all year long. Bo Collins is out for the rest of the year. He's going to have shoulder surgery. He's kind of a big target down the field. But maybe Turner's a guy with some speed who can do that. He had a 68-yard catch in the first half.
And he's also a guy that maybe is going to redshirt, and they can play him 4 games.
Right, it's just his 2nd game. Here's Brandon Spector weaving inside the 20 and then taken down from behind. But another big gainer through the air. Heyman Rucker, the defensive end, outstanding player, ran him down 43 yards, 38 after the catch.
I think Clemson feels right now fatigue in this North Carolina defense. You can see a lot of hands on hips, slow getting in their stance, and that's why Clemson is hurrying up and getting to the line. Doesn't mean they're going to play super fast or hyper fast, but they are giving the impression or the threat that they could go fast at any time. But there's fatigue, particularly up front with that defensive line.
Klubnik, little throwback screen for the tight end, Davis Allen. And he is still in bounds apparently. And he has a first down, 1st and goal. Looked like the Tar Heels thought they had bumped him out of bounds, but they had not.
Again, this defensive line looks worn out. Because of injuries, they just haven't been able to rotate as many guys in. And towards the second half and later in the ball game, they get worn down. And that's what it looks like right now.
Can't get off the field with the tempo. Not enough in the tank, did they, to stop Shipley? No, they did not. Touchdown. And it's all Clemson here in the second half of the Subway ACC Championship. Shipley, a 2-yard touchdown run.
Guy's a powerful runner for a guy who's not all that big. I mean, he very seldom loses yardage, has great strength and leg drive, and just powers his way into the end zone. Stays low and keeps chopping.
And to your point about fatigue on the defense, you know, it looked like they had him stacked, just couldn't finish it.
And when you get tired on the defensive line, you stand up. You lose leverage, you lose your strength in your base. And this is a tired-looking defense right now.
Steve Potter, one more game at Clemson. He adds the extra point. It'll be a happy homecoming for Will Shipley, the Charlotte area native. He'll be part of a championship winning team tonight, barring something miraculous in the 4th quarter. The 43-yard play to Spector set it up. That was the longest catch of his career. Well, look at championship weekend. Utah down 17-3. Rallied to win the Pac-12 again. What a coach Kyle Whittingham is. Cam Rising, the quarterback, was terrific. Great game today in Arlington, Texas, the Big 12. TCU rallied from 11 down late to force it into overtime. Couldn't score on 4th and inches. And lost for the first time this year. And then Georgia, definitive #1, wins the SEC.
Yeah, another Outstanding game by Stetson Bennett. 4 touchdown passes. Georgia's still the team to beat in this whole thing.
After the touchback, it'll be Carolina ball. We think back to last week. You and I had the games, South Carolina at Clemson. Clemson was number 8, even though they had 1 loss. But we talked about there was a path if they could win out. And they have to be kicking themselves now because, the path opened up with several teams ahead of them losing and getting out of the picture.
And if the committee, sticks with what they say about conference champions meaning a lot, they would have been in a pretty strong position.
I think if they were there as a 1 loss at Notre Dame, a very good Notre Dame team, conference champion, given all the teams that get knocked out of the picture since we had that conversation last week. LSU losing last week, obviously USC losing last night. They're out of the picture. Ohio State suffered a loss. If they were there to be compared to Ohio State, for example, which I think most people think they're going to get in, they would be a 1-loss conference champion.
Correct.
Clemson, where Ohio State didn't play in its championship game.
Right.
Well, the Buckeyes are very fortunate that it also played out for them. There's Alabama still hanging on to hope. Diving catch made by Josh Downs. That's number 201 of his career. With 2 very narrow losses on the road to excellent teams by a total of 4 points, that maybe they'll be included.
Last play of the game, too, right? Both of them.
We're heading to the 4th quarter. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and word from our ABC stations.
The Eat Fresh refresh just won't stop. Now Subway's refreshing their catering with Eat.
Subway ACC Championship trophy is here. That's heading back to a familiar location. Clemson, South Carolina. Tigers lead 39-10 as we go to the 4th quarter. Sean McDonough, Todd Blackledge, and Molly McGrath. And a first down run for Elijah Green, taken down by Trenton Simpson.
Yeah, they were, Clemson was in the rare place last year of sitting at home watching Pitt, Wake Forest play for the championship.
Bay down the seam, nice catch. Morales, who was a factor on that opening touchdown drive, went down to haul it in. His 3rd catch of the night. Rick Bay has now set the ACC freshman passing yardage record with that last completion. Updated after this additional yardage to Josh Downs. Jameis Winston had the record back in 2013. That 8-yard total, 4,079 yards. And he's just getting started. Reminds me of the great Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Size, the running ability, long strider, the competitiveness, the poise, everything you'd want. The intelligence, leadership skills. Green carries. There's his dad, Mark, who was a fine quarterback at North Carolina in the 80s, 2-year starter. In fact, Mac Brown said if he hadn't hurt his shoulder, he would have been an NFL quarterback. Coached for year 4, Mac Brown, as a graduate assistant.
It's a pretty good gene pool in that family.
Luke May, standout basketball player. They really are, in the opinion of many, the first family of Carolina athletics. Receiver slipped down. There is a flag thrown. Gavin Blackwell, the intended receiver. Toriano Pride pleading his case.
I think the ball was underthrown.
Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty automatic. First down.
And as Blackwell tried to slow down for it, Pride just couldn't slow down and ran right over him. He was falling down, but the defender did run into him because he had no idea where the ball was.
Pride cometh before the fall. Brad Austin liked the call. Agreed with the call. Impartial. 1st and 10, 15-yard line. Elijah Green stacked up. Well, we mentioned Mark May, outstanding quarterback at North Carolina. Brother Luke, there's Dad. Helmet's a little bit different back then. Big old shoulder pads. You used to wear those. Yeah. Luke, great basketball player, hit a big shot against Kentucky, 2017 championship run. Cole was a pitcher for the Florida Gators. They won the College World Series. And brother Bo is on the UNC Hoops team right now. And is Drake's roommate. Bryson Nesbitt catches the little quick slant. That is quite a family.
It is. It really is.
Dad glum with the way this one is going. But the future is bright. Not only the ACC freshman record, but he shattered Mitch Trubisky's single-season passing yardage mark for any class at the University of North Carolina. Trying to get them in the right places with the play clock running down. Here comes pressure. May fires it away. Trenton Simpson coming after his old buddy Drake May again. A lot of these guys know each other. Drake May and Will Shipley are friends. In the summertime, they'll play together. They work out together. If May wants to throw some balls, sometimes Shipley will meet him somewhere and they'll go do it. And when Shipley committed to Clemson, May decided to go to North Carolina. May tweeted out, "I'll see you in the ACC championship." And that tweet came to fruition. He's trying to find an escape, and now he throws it away. He's slow to get up. So they turn it over on downs. In the red zone tonight, a touchdown, a blocked field goal, a pick six, and now a turnover on downs. That's not going to get it done.
And tonight's winning numbers.
Provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. 64,115 the attendance tonight. 18th Subway ACC championship game. Some of them have headed out with the outcome seemingly no longer in doubt. Quick throw, Jake Brenningstool fights ahead for about 3.
That's a little bone for Jake because he hadn't gotten the ball thrown to him so far in the game. He's been a really valuable addition to the team this year.
There's a flag.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 70. Down counts, penalty been forced half the distance to the goal. He's second down.
Tristan Lee, who's the backup left tackle, in for Jordan McFadden. Yeah, it's a little unnecessary. Jordan McFadden, by the way, congratulations to him, graduate student left tackle. Won the Jacobs blocking trophy. He's the best blocker in the ACC this year. With the offensive line that Brandon Streeter describes as tough and nasty. One that gelled as the year went along. Quick pop to the freshman Adam Randall.
Adam Randall is a guy that they have high hopes for. He's a guy who really shows out in practice. He's explosive, he's big, he's got really good hands, but it just is not translated to the games yet. He's a young freshman like Antonio Williams. Just hasn't been on the same pace as his classmate Antonio Williams. But now they've got a lot of different receivers in the game. They'll give those guys a shot to get some good game action here in the fourth quarter.
Klubnik throwing it up for grabs. Nice catch. It's Cole Turner again. All he does is catch long passes. 68 yards in the first half. Even while having his shirt held, he hauls that one in for 27 yards. You know, they haven't had a 100-yard receiver this year.
That's right.
Turner, who very few outside of Clemson had ever heard of prior to tonight, might be the first. There are only 6 FBS teams this year that didn't have at least one game of 100 yards receiving. Drew Sweeney slammed down by Will Hardy.
How crazy would that be? Their first 100-yard receiver if it was Turner.
Do you want a bonus Affleck question? And the other number stands out too. The wide receivers collectively average 140 receiving yards. That's 98th in the country. And this is from the school that has had. There's a long throw. Randall can't make the catch. 11 receivers drafted since 2013, tied with Ohio State for the most. The other teams that don't have a 100-yard receiver this year?
I do know.
Go ahead.
I mean, I wrote it down on my chart.
Well,
New Mexico
what kind
State,
of retention did you? That's
Boise
correct.
State,
Correct.
Rutgers,
Correct.
Wyoming,
Yes.
and UConn.
Wow. You are exactly right. Now, they just don't have the big playmaking wide receiver. We've seen the T. Higginses, Justin Rosses, and those guys. Ooh, pressure right up the middle. Klubnik not bothered by it. Drew Sweeney the catch. And a first down into North Carolina territory. Klubnik now 19 for 23 for 274 and a touchdown. I think you and I agree that he's the MVP, even though Wiggins has been great, because the game changed immediately and dramatically when he came in after 2 series from DJ Uiagalelei and 2 3-and-outs. 9:22 to go. Clemson on its way to another ACC title.
The Subway ACC Football Championship on ABC is brought to you by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu, your pick of 12 irresistible subs, and in part by IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Cade Klubnik getting congratulations from his teammates, a hug from Coach Dabo Sweeney. He's going to leave the game now after a magnificent performance. Off the bench for DJ Uiagalelei after 2 series. Resulted no first downs. Here's the third quarterback of the night, Hunter Johnson. And it's a handoff for Kobe Pace. He turns the corner. The Klubnik, it shouldn't be a big surprise. One of the great resumes you'll ever see in high school football. He was the Texas Player of the Year. He was a finalist for National Player of the Year. He's the MVP of the Elite 11 camp. Guided the powerhouse Westlake in Austin, Texas to 3 straight state championships. First quarterback to go undefeated as a starter, winning back-to-back state titles in Texas's highest classification since Kyler Murray. He wasn't bad.
Same high school as Drew Brees and Nick Foles.
Yep. Hant Green, the reception. 5-star recruit was Hunter Johnson. You know, like Klubnik, he came out of high school in Brownsburg, Indiana, considered to be the best quarterback in the country. ESPN had him rated that. Started his career at Clemson. 1 season there, transferred to Northwestern, was there for 4 years, did not play very much. And he has returned to Clemson this year as a graduate transfer. They were originally enrolling in Clemson back in January of 2017. Kobe Pace, the ball carrier. There's a familiar name to us, football fans, Ty Herbstreit. Son of our colleague Kirk Herbstreit. Dabo, when he has a chance, he gets everybody.
He'll play as many guys as he can.
A lot of years during his tenure, they have led the country in number of players participating per game. And it looks like they're trying to improve on that mark tonight, to the chagrin of our great spotter, Zach Patrizone. Trying to find some of these people on our charts. Kobe Pace. Looked like he got the first down, or did he?
Tell you what, that's a stop by North Carolina. That shows some heart and fight still in this football team. They're tired, they're beat, and they're bowing their neck here on 3rd and 4th down. It does look like Clemson got the first down.
At the 38-yard line. Cole Turner back out there.
Point on the field is the runner made the line to gain that plays into further review.
And this is where replay people just need to apply some common sense. 7:11 to go. Year 18 of the ACC championship game. Clemson's 9th appearance, most of any school. They're 7-1, lost the first one in 09 to Georgia Tech. Won 7 straight since, at a stretch of 6 years in a row, 2015 to 2020. Winning the championship, didn't make it to Charlotte last year. They're about to make it. 7 out of 8. Open receiver, and the catch made just before Jalen Phillips got there to knock down J.J. Jones for his first catch of the game.
All backups in the game right now for Clemson on defense, and Wade Woodaz, who is a linebacker, is actually playing safety, probably because of some injuries and some changes defensively. He's number 17, and about every other play, Wes Goodwin goes out and kind of gives a personal coaching instruction of what he's doing in safety. Talented athlete.
And they're scrambling around a little bit on defense at the snap, understandably so. It's Antoine Green taken out of bounds by Toriano Pride. Well, Wes Goodwin was thrown into a tough spot. I mentioned he's never been an on-the-field coach. He's always been an analyst, and very, very highly regarded one, both at Clemson and in the NFL for Bruce Arians, who raves about Wes. Brent Venables left. He wanted to take Wes Goodwin with him. Dabo Swinney said, no, you're staying. You're going to be the defensive coordinator. When you take over a group that's been in the top 15 in the country defense 8 years in a row, it's a tough act to follow.
And some people criticize Dabo, you know, not going outside the program to hire either one of his coordinators. When Tony Elliott left to be the Virginia coach, he elevated Brandon Streeter on offense. But Dabo's opinion is hey, if there's guys in the program that deserve it, I'm gonna give them a chance.
Absolutely. Elijah Green, the ball carrier, and why wouldn't you, right? These guys have been here for a while. Right. You know, working very hard. Brandon Streeter had been on the staff since 2015. Much of that time, the recruiting coordinator, a big part of all the success they've had bringing in the great talent to win these championships. They know the system. You and I have been to Clemson a lot. You know, a lot of places they talk about culture, but they don't have it. At Clemson, they do have a culture. Long throw, and it's intercepted by Jaden Lucas, a true freshman with his first career interception. There's a flag down.
Holding. Offense number 63. The penalties decline. Result of the play is an interception and touchback.
Lukens did a great job again of just kind of forcing the receiver J.J. Jones out of bounds, and he was the only one that could make a play on the football.
Well, they lost the turnover battle 5 games in a row, but not tonight. Strong effort by Wes Goodwin's defense. Back in Charlotte, where the trophy presentation for the Subway ACC Championship game will be seen on the ESPN app and the ACC network as soon as we're finished here. If you want to stay tuned, Molly McGrath has been preparing for this as long as she can. There's Ty Herbstreit taking a little flip forward from Hunter Johnson. Under 5 minutes to go. Clemson 30+ points in all but one game this season. Their loss at Notre Dame, they lost 35-14. People want to question the promoting Brandon Streeter doing a very nice job. Cedric Gray made the tackle on Dominic Thomas. Who's in? There's Brandon. Rounded his whole life. His dad Barry was the coach at Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania for 38 years. The head coach. Brandon was the ball boy. Used to hold his dad's headset cord. His dad won 196 games. Retired in 2017.
Cole Turner's going to go over 100 yards.
He's going to be the first Clemson receiver this season to go over 100. He had one catch all year prior to tonight.
That's crazy.
That's 3 catches for Cole for 101 yards. So scratch them off that list of teams that haven't had a 100-yard receiver this year.
Timeout on the field for an injured player to the defense.
Travis Shaw is the injured player. But Dabo Swinney's such a good guy. You know, Kevin Turner's teammate at Alabama died of ALS. Dabo, among other things, told him, I'll take care of your boys. Had Nolan play for him, and now Cole's there. And we talked all night about V Week, importance of raising more money for research. Dabo's All-In Team Foundation has given more than $1.8 million to local hospitals, research for breast cancer prevention, early detection, and they now have 2 mobile mammography vans that go into areas where women might not otherwise have healthcare access for early detection. And it's deeply meaningful to the Sweeneys. Dabo's wife, Kathleen, lost her sister, Lisa Lamb, to breast cancer back in 2014. You know, he's a prominent man, and he does an awful lot of good to help other people. There's Dominic Thomas, and he is looking ahead. You know, they're going to play in the Orange Bowl. It's going to be a conference championship. Those are both big things. But he has Santa coming. He has a huge, he's like Clark Griswold.
Yeah.
So we visited last week. We asked him,
Santa
how was
on the
your
roof
Thanksgiving
party,
dinner?
right?
He said dinner was great, but then from 7 to 11 we got out and we started stringing up all the lights. And he said, we said, you're like Clark Griswold. He said, oh yeah, no, we definitely are. Then he showed us pictures of his house from previous years. He has a Santa come, and Santa goes up on the roof. Well, now with Dabo's fancy house, it's more like a, what call it, balcony.
Yeah, terrace.
Yeah. Keith Adams is in. This is Will Taylor, back from a minor knee injury. Cost him a couple of games. Santa is, that might be his Santa, right? He's got the Clemson logo.
No, I'm thinking he's got a better Santa.
What's wrong with that Santa?
Wearing orange, not red. Orange.
Showing his allegiance. Now, there are going to be a lot of kids around America who aren't fans of Clemson who are crying because Santa is not a fan of their favorite team. Hopefully they're already asleep. Keith Adams, the running back. Johnson faked it to him, threw it out wide for Taylor. Legend Cavazos made the tackle. And they turn it over on downs. Well, here we go. Just about all the games have been played. Tomorrow, the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups. The semifinals are in the Fiesta and Peach Bowls. Played on New Year's Eve on ESPN. Reese and the guys will also unveil the other New Year's 6 bowl games. Clemson heading for the Orange Bowl, most certainly. They'll have the final top 25 rankings in a 4-hour special. It's at noon tomorrow after Sunday NFL Countdown. Those were the last incarnation earlier this week. Dak Jackson, we believe, was on to punt here. Josh Downs and his former high school teammate Carter in conversation. All right, going to put you on the spot. Georgia number 1 for sure.
Yep. Michigan looks like they're
Michigan's
taking
gonna
control
win.
of that one.
They're number 2.
Yep.
Then where do you go from there?
I'm going to go TCU 3 and Ohio State 4. Is what I would do. I will not be surprised at all if that's reversed, but that's
I would be. I mean, you thought TCU was better, the committee. before last week. Ohio State didn't play. Yeah. TCU lost an overtime game to a 10-win Kansas State team. They beat 5 ranked teams. I think their body of work is more impressive.
Yeah, and this is me as a fan. I would, Michigan beat Ohio State in the game, right? And they beat them convincingly by 22 at home. And they would have to turn around. If Ohio State is 3, they'd have to turn around and play them again.
Right.
In the semifinal. If they meet again for the national championship, kind of like Alabama and Georgia did a couple years ago, that's fine. But I'd rather not see them have to play each other in the semifinals.
I would agree with that. I think most college football fans would as well. Hugs all around on the Clemson sideline.
Well, with Will Shipley being a sophomore and Cade Klubnik being a freshman, they got to recruit or go in the transfer portal and find a couple more receivers. I mean, this is a team that, the future is still very bright for Clemson.
Yep. Jacoby Criswell, who's in now, throws to Bryson Nesbitt. And I think it is for North Carolina as well. They're recruiting well. He may be the best quarterback in the country for the next few years. It's a 9-win season. Be 9-4 as they await their bowl destination for Matt Brown. Disappointing ending with 3 straight losses. At one point 9-1. Coaches raved, by the way, about how Criswell can throw it. Takes off running there and got tackled by Keith McGuire. Disappointing night for May, but another conference championship for Clemson. 7th in 8 years. First team in a Power 5 conference to win 7 in 8 years since Alabama won 8 out of 9, 1971 to 79. Remarkable consistency, remarkable excellence. The 11-win season is the 8th for Dabo Swinney, his 14 full seasons as coach of the Tigers. And he is with Molly McGrath.
Coach, in the 3rd series of the game, you made the change at quarterback and you didn't look back. How did Cade Klubnik change this game for your team?
Yeah, well, we went into the game saying we were going to play him on the 3rd series. We hoped DJ would start off well. He didn't. And so Cade came in and did a heck of a job, and I'm really proud of him. And, the reality is we wouldn't have won the Atlantic and we wouldn't have been here tonight without DJ. And we wouldn't have won the ACC championship without Cade. And so, listen, man, it's awesome to see this young man grow up. And, we tried to make the change at Notre Dame. Wasn't quite ready. And DJ bounced back with a kind of against the wall and played well against Louisville and Miami. And then, but tonight was the opportunity for him, and he was ready. He's worked his butt off all year. Great to see him play. Guys making plays. How about old Cole Turner? We've been kind of holding him, and I told him we were going to need him to win the championship, and I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. But, at the end of the day, man, it's a blessing to be here. 7 out of 8 years. I'm happy for our fans. I'm really proud of our team, and, we don't take it for granted. We're not entitled to be here. These kids earned their way here, and they earned the game tonight. And congratulations to North Carolina. I love Coach Brown, and, but tonight was our night.
All right, well, congratulations on the win, Coach. I'm going to talk to your quarterback over here. Cade, you come in during the 3rd series of the game, and you absolutely take over. How were you able to be so successful and create such a spark for your offense?
Yeah, I just think my peace comes from God, and it's simple as that. And I'm so thankful for all the people that I get to be surrounded by every single day. Whether it's the strength coaches or the QB room. I mean, we have such a tight group. Me and DJ have such an amazing relationship, and I'm just so thankful for him, for the man that he's been to me, and for the role model that he's been for me. I love football, and I just want to come out here and play the game I've always wanted to play. But it's awesome.
Your first significant amount of playing time and your first real impact on a game, and it's in an ACC championship win. Could you ever have imagined this outcome tonight?
No, I think I never could have. But it's just God's timing, and I'm so excited. We're definitely going to celebrate, and but just so excited for these guys and so excited for these seniors. I think long run we didn't have the season that we wanted, But for these seniors and the guys that have meant so much to me, for them to go out with a ring and the ACC championship, it means a lot. So.
DJ was in your ear a lot on the sidelines. What was he saying to you during the game?
Yeah, I mean, just helping me pick apart defenses and schemes that they've been doing, and just nothing but encouragement. I love that dude, and he's, like I said, he's been so awesome to me since I got here, and I'm super thankful for him.
All right, congrats on the win, Cade.
Thank you so much.
Sean.
Let's go.
Classy, Cade Klubnik. I wonder if perhaps we've seen the last of DJ Uiagalelei as a Clemson Tiger. The trophy ceremony is coming up in just a moment on the ESPN app and on ACC Network. We'll find out who the MVP is. Likely Klubnik, who went 20 for 24 for 279 and a touchdown, and rushed for a score as well. For Molly McGrath, Todd Blackledge, our great crew led by Josh Hoffman and Scott Johnson. Sean McDonough saying, so long from Charlotte. Clemson wins the Subway ACC Championship.